morning, everyone. It is Monday. It is currently 11:01 a.m. in New York City. I think my period is here. Once again, it is very irregular. I'm going to shut this window because the noise outside is very distracting. I somehow managed to sleep over 7 hours last night and I still feel exhausted, so it could be hormonal, but whatever the reason may be, we're here. Monday is here, and whether or not you're ready for it, you will live it. So today what I wanted to do is get rid of some of the stuff that Grandma has passed off to me that I don't want to see in my fridge anymore. And maybe it is my period because I've been eating chocolate for the past week, and I was thinking, okay, what if I take all of these prunes that Grandma keeps giving me and turn them into like brownie bites, like no-bake brownie bites? Even though the weather right now is cooler and I can bake it, I don't feel like baking it. Hello Australia, hello Kansas, and that's what we're gonna do. I actually have a meeting in an hour, so this will be a short live, but I figured I might as well take this opportunity to make a little treat that could be disgusting and to get rid of some of these things that are, it's weird how the smallest things in my life can give me anxiety, and looking at these prunes in my fridge every single day is starting to give me anxiety because I'm always thinking about what I'm going to use them for. So today we're going to get rid of the anxiety. Hi Algeria. Have we ever had a viewer from Algeria before? That's cool. So yes. That's what I have imagined for us today. I don't think it's going to be very exciting, but it might be somewhat exciting if you're into random shit. The first thing I'm going to do is immersion blend the prunes into a paste, and then we're just going to add cocoa powder, sugary things, protein powder, seeds, nuts, whatever, until it makes sense. You have no sound? Can anybody else hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Okay, it's just you, Kay. So, thank you for confirming. Won't be the first time that we have a malfunction, but not today. It's not my fault today. Yes, these are gonna be like fun energy bites, but made with retirement home prunes. So, well, first, I guess you can. Sorry, my kitchen's kind of a mess. It's Monday. I just came back from Grandma. This is what I take her snacks to her in, and everything's just hanging out to dry. Let me clean up a little bit. Wow, I've never felt embarrassed before, but today I'm feeling a little embarrassed. Better. Okay. So, in terms of Grandma shit, we have some chocolate pudding, we have prunes. I also took home this applesauce today. She, for some reason, hates things given to her in this little container. She insists that they're leftovers. I also have 2 avocados that I should really, 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 really use up. So we'll see. This might taste absolutely disgusting. Hello, Ontario. I'm going to pull up the chat in my computer so I can see you all on a screen that is bigger than my phone. So give me 1 second. Live chat, pop out chat. Hello, Romania. All the feelings, yeah. Why is this Monday so anxiety-induced, you ask? Well, I think, 1, my period might be coming, or maybe it is already here. And 2, I went to Grandma today, and I couldn't connect to my uncle via Skype. And we always connect to my uncle via Skype. And so Grandma apparently, I think she might have wet her bed during the night. I'm not sure, it was not confirmed. But Grandma had a bad dream, and her bad dreams always involve someone dying or getting sick, and she doesn't want to talk about it because in Chinese culture you don't talk about bad shit that happens to you in dreams because you're worried that it might make it true. Um, but in any case, in her head, when she has these dreams, it's already true. Like in her head, she had this dream, and something bad happened in Beijing, and Uncle's definitely in trouble. And because I couldn't connect with him on Skype, it just like made her go off the deep end. And I think everything was a little tense. And I tried to do a little bit of breathing work with her to calm her down. We've been trying out this new technique of breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the mouth, which sounds simple but is really, really hard when you have a 95-year-old grandma who has never practiced breath work before, and doesn't seem to understand why you're making her do this. Grandma does a lot of these moments where she nods and says mm-hmm as if she's agreeing to do what you are telling her to do, and then she proceeds to not do it. So I have to like break it down for her and explain to her that this is for your own comfort, that you are experiencing stress and it is tightening your body, and that you must learn to pay attention to your breath and slow it down so that you can help your body calm down. And it's not a matter of getting it right on the first try. It's a matter of practicing it, and we have been practicing this for over a year now. And I have to say that I think breathing practice has resulted in her experiencing less hyperventilation and less subjected to coughing attacks that spiral out of control. So we have a lot of prunes in here that we're going to blend. Probably going to add in this chocolate pudding. Smells fine. I mean, the whole thing is so stabilized and preservative, like chocolate pudding, who knows? Who knows how they produce this shit? It's probably going to be fine for 10 years. So it's all gonna go in, and I'm going to put in the avocado next, I think. And then we're gonna add in our protein powder and some cocoa powders that I bought a while ago because I thought, yeah, I'm gonna bake, and then summer hit, and then I was like, no, I'm not going to bake. So that's what's going on here. Now I'm thinking, actually, maybe I should add in some raisins from my raisin brand for a little bit of texture and sweetness. I obviously haven't soaked these raisins, so they're not going to blend completely well, but I think that's fine. Yes, I am picking it out of my cereal, but that's the thing, right? Prunes are sweet, but they're not like sugar, so they can give you a medicinal taste. So I'm simply trying to balance out the medicinal sweetness with more straightforward sweetness without actually using sugar, by making use of all the other junk that I have in my house that needs to get used up. Um, and I actually have some apple jelly containers from Grandma as well, so maybe we'll plop those in. It's obviously not the best kind of sugar, but we'll see. We'll see. Am I going to let Grandma try the brownies? No, because she's going to think it looks like shit, and she's going to not understand what I'm giving to her, and then she's going to taste it, and then she's going to be like, oh, this is sweet. I hate sweet things. And it's just, oh, shit. And then it's just going to result in more issues for me, and I'm trying to keep life simple. You know? Okay, now that I've splattered this batter all over myself, let's see which avocado needs to, oh, that one needs to go first. For sure. Don't do this at home. It will give you avocado hands. Do not do this at home. 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 Don't do it. There's also a lot of noise going on outside today. Like, my building, I think, is renovating something out front, and there's been footsteps from the apartment unit above me for the past few days, and I've been here for 10 months now, and I've not heard this amount of footsteps, so it's like kind of creepy all of a sudden to hear them. And today there's been kids running back and forth very loudly, and I can hear their foot stomps. I can't even tell which unit it's coming from. It might be the unit next to me or above me. I'm just not sure anymore. My perception is becoming as unreliable as Grandma's, and that in itself is kind of freaky to me, I guess. But is anyone else experiencing anxiety, or is it just me? Could be just me. I took a nap yesterday afternoon around 4, and then I woke up at almost 6, and I just felt so panicked upon waking up from that nap. Did not feel good. And I kind of felt disappointed with myself because, you know, I feel like even though I've been in this very strange, routineless lifestyle for almost a year now, I still very much judge myself when I feel like I haven't been as productive as I wanted it to. Oh my god, splattering myself everywhere. Gross. The avocado is in here to give a little bit of fat, so that these bites have richness to them and not just dirt like cacao, you know? I am not sure if you believe in this kind of stuff, but the big full super moon coming August 30th is having effects. What kind of effects? I can believe. fascinating way, Jules. Okay, let's taste a little bit of this concoction, shall we? Yesterday the moon was looking pretty big too, so. Why do you guys let me do this shit? Oh, God. Two scoops of chocolate and 1 scoop of peanut butter protein mix. I'm going to mix this by hand first so that it doesn't poof everywhere with the immersion blender. And actually, I think we might be done with the immersion blender. So let me go ahead and disconnect that to avoid mishaps. I'm sorry for the dim lighting. I just don't feel like turning the lights on right now. Very like vampire mode. The face that I made was mostly from the intensity of the prune flavor. So we're gonna have to mask that. I think we're gonna have to go in with some spices in addition to the cocoa powder, but one thing at a time. I'm in no rush. Well, I am kind of in a rush, but I have faith we'll finish. You know, actually not bad licking this. It does taste a little earthy, slightly bitter in that dried fruit way, but there is nice creaminess coming from the avocado, so I like it. And with immersion blenders, I like to wash them as soon as possible because I feel like they just get nastier as they sit in the sink. Okay, let me go back to your comments very briefly so I can read up of what's happening in this full moon. You've always wanted to stick your finger in henna and eat it. Interesting. I discovered your channel last night. The deepest throes of my depression. So happy to be here. Thank you for being you and being you on the internet. Welcome. I'm sorry you're going through a bad depression. I hope you can find a lull period soon. My depression always comes back to me. I think I struggled for the first half of my life thinking it'll end someday and hoping that it'll end someday, but I think I've also recognized the fact that depression is just going to be a part of me, and I think some people will choose to medicate it away, but I've also found ways to live with it that I don't hate it. I think it's just about cultivating relationships that you're comfortable with, and for everyone that looks different. But I hope you do find ways to get yourself support, whether it be from family and friends, someone to talk to, a therapist, medication, whatever it may be. There's also meditation, exercise, but you don't need my advice. You just need company. So I'm happy you're here. I'm gonna put these two things back because clearly we don't need any more moisture. And I'm going to finally try this cacao powder that I bought a long time ago, thinking, oh yeah, I'm going to want to try this and compare it with other cheaper cacao. Drost? I don't know if it's fair trade, but I've been seeing it everywhere, so I was like, all right, let's try it. That's what it looks like. Has anybody ever tried this brand? Do you like it? Kim says this moon says it will affect how we express ourselves in partnerships. Affect us in what way? Wow. Full moon is in Pisces, which means high emotions and a thin veil between dreams and reality, making them seem more real. Well, I guess that's what happened to Grandma. That makes sense. There are also 5 planets in retrograde, which means down from 7 originally. Whoa, this is a cool mechanism. I ripped the box apart, lifted this, and then this tab connects directly to the bag that's holding the cacao. Fascinating. I've never seen this contraption before. This entire flap is basically glued and affixed to the bag inside. I guess I still have to like open this bag. Can I tear it, or do I have to, I think I have to cut it. I don't know what this contraption actually does, to be honest with you. Does it tell me what I should be doing? No, not really. It just says they support sustainable cocoa practices, but I don't know what that means. That's very vague. So yeah, this is called the Drost effect. Apparently, Erin told me it's a lady holding a box of her, 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 ad infinitum. So if you're into that kind of shit, the surreal David Lynchian kind of shit, I think you're gonna love this packaging. I think I cut a sliver of the paper into the cacao powder and now I've lost sight of it. Oopsies. Okay, here we go. I don't know how much I'm putting in. I'm just putting it in. And now we mix it very slowly so it does not poof everywhere. Is she a nun? I don't know. She looks like she could be, but I don't know what the dress and the uniform is of. I'm not familiar with the culture. I'm also going to put in a little bit of flax seeds. This will help absorb some of that extra moisture and help us bind over time. It might take it like 20 minutes to fully incorporate into the mix and solidify everything together, but it will help us. I'm also going to put in some poppy seeds because I have a lot of poppy seeds on hand from previous projects that never came into fruition. So maybe this will get me high too, because poppy seeds are from the opium plant, poppy flower. Hi, UK. Turning into quite the concoction here. Yeah, I definitely shouldn't be eating too many of these in one sitting because I will definitely be in trouble. I'm thinking if I have to add more cocoa powder to this, it might become too bitter, so we might have to like set it in the freezer and just scoop it as a mousse, because right now this is not solidified enough to be handled into a truffle. I don't know what I was imagining. I just wanted to get rid of the prunes, honestly. So we're accomplishing what we need to accomplish. Yeah, this is a great bowl. I thrifted it from the Salvation Army a while back. I wonder if I can put some oats in here maybe, you know? Oats or bran? Oats or bran, or both? ¿Por qué no los dos? Oh, Winry recommended oats. I didn't see until now. Great minds think alike. I'm from Indonesia and I love that you have Chinese cough syrup in the background. Yes, good eye. Wow, you have a very sharp eye right there. Cinnamon, yes, definitely. Poppy seeds, everything in this bowl will make me go to the bathroom. I'm pretty sure, guys. Vanilla, maybe. Yes, I know they can make me test positive. It is a pretty well-known fact, I think. A little vanilla and a touch of salt. Yes, I think we should use vanilla powder. But let me just taste it first after this addition of oats. Not bad, actually. Kind of surprised. Some poppy seeds, if they're unwashed, can make you high, actually. They have trace amounts of maybe the resin that comes from the poppy flower plant. These are no bake. Yes, these are no bake. I was hoping to separate out the little crumbly bits of the bran in the bran cereal, but they kind of just all fell to the bottom. Alas, the best laid plans of mice and men. Actually, is it worth it? It could be worth it. Is this what you wanted to watch on a Monday morning, is me do stupid shit to cereal and pudding? Guess it doesn't matter, because that's what we're doing. Sifting out dust from cereal. You guys are weird. I appreciate that. What a strange viewership I have. I really am very happy to have such interesting people watch me do absolutely nonsensical shit. So what is everyone dreading this week? What is the toughest thing that you're trying to not think about, but that just makes you think about it even more, and it makes your entire body tense up thinking about it? What are you worried? Let it out. I switched the light so you can see better. I was ready for the light now. I actually don't like this packaging because now I can't actually close the bag, you know, I have to like tear it away so that I can cinch it shut. I don't like this feature at all. There's no way to keep the moisture out now because the bag is fully glued on one side. No, like, you guys have a lot of things on your minds, huh? You're getting over COVID. Yeah, take care of yourself. I mean, there's an uptick in COVID recently. People aren't taking it as seriously anymore. We're not prioritizing our health the way that we were when we saw everybody around us drop dead. Keep in mind that people around us are still dropping dead. We're just not sensationalizing it on all of our media platforms anymore. So memento mori, right? It sounds dark, but it is truly what I say to myself every day when anxiety strikes, when I'm stressed, when I feel like I can't breathe in life, is memento mori. Like, remember that we will all die. It's not meant to stress me out. It's meant to give me perspective that, whoa, all of these things bother you, but how does this compare to being dead? And how does this compare to knowing that one day you won't feel any of this anymore? And it really brings to mind what Mom said to me about how, you know, when I was going through depressive streaks and low lows, that she would say to me, like, this is all part of life too, you know, like heartbreak, disappointment, anger, upsets. So just carrying bits of Mom's advice even when she's not here. Let's go in with some spices now before we add in more sugar. I heard someone say salt. Yes, that's the first thing that's going to go in. Next, we're going to grind in a little bit of nutmeg. And then cardamom for mintiness to lift that pruny darkness. A little bit of ginger for a warm spice kick. Not too much, just a little fragrance. A little bit of hibiscus to balance out the muddiness of the cocoa. Hibiscus will give us a little bit of tartness. Makes the cocoa a little bit sharper. Cinnamon, because we all love cinnamon, and it also makes it sweeter without adding sugar. And then we're gonna try some of Burlap and Barrel's cocoa in here too. This is a non-Dutch cocoa. The one that we just used, I believe, is Dutch. Non-Dutch is a lot lighter in color than Dutched. I feel like the original Hershey's is undutched. Some of the B&B spices are kind of sticking in the jars. Yeah, so what I've been doing for those is sticking a small utensil in there and just like kind of scraping it, not by doing this motion, which can make the spices jump out at you, but rather I just kind of like put the handle of the spoon in and then I twirl the spoon without lifting it out. I just keep it level and twirl it around. The spices are packed without any anti-caking agents, which if you especially live in a more humid part of the country, will result in spices solidifying. Like you can see the ginger is more solidified than the other spices. I had a tougher time shaking it out just now. What you can also do is if you are still going through COVID tests, you know how each of the packs of COVID, I can't find one right now, but each of the packs of the COVID test has a little silicone packet. You can put one of those in there to absorb the moisture. Depending on the sifter size, some people also put grains of rice in there to help you absorb moisture. But yeah, it's a moisture issue. If you really want, what you can do is obviously lid all of the jars tightly, and then you can put that in a Ziploc bag and push out all the air of the bag so that it's not being exposed to more of the atmospheric humidity. But yeah, it's really just you know, our world is filled with conveniences, and people think that once the spices clump, it's like a defect in the quality of the product, but actually it's just the way things go when they're natural. A lot of cheaper spice manufacturers, because their spices already taste like shit, will put stuff in there to preserve them and to prevent them from caking together. But I don't think those are the things that you really want to eat. Like, it's the stuff that they put in pan, basically. Okay. Ooh. I think the hibiscus did so much just now. All right, what I really want to do is add sesame seeds now. And I want to add both white and black sesame seeds. I think it'll give it a super nutty crunch. Spices kind of keep forever as long as you don't contaminate them or introduce humidity to them, but they will kind of degrade in flavor over time, like with all things. I've had spices from, I don't know, probably a decade ago. They still taste like spices, but they don't taste as good as 10 years ago.
So, you know, smell them, see them. If they're moldy, obviously don't use them. It probably means you've introduced sources of bacteria or humidity that encourage things to grow in there. I recently just had to throw out some dehydrated mushroom powder because there were buggies in there. And, you know, that's probably my fault. Probably introduced some moisture in there. Also, the dried mushrooms probably weren't super clean when I ground them up, so there were microorganisms in there that didn't quite die. So, as long as you have humidity, which is water, you have life. Oxygen and water will give you life. So, it's not disgusting, but it's probably gross to eat. You know, it's just life. It's just life in areas that we don't want life in. But us, being very selfish creatures of the human species, like to exert control over where things and people can and cannot be. To your earlier question, actually, so if you have Facebook, you can join the Burlap and Barrel Spice Forum. I've heard from people that they like to take 2 jars, which you can see have ridges on the bottom, and they like to rub them together, like this, to loosen the spices. I don't know if that actually worked, but I could see, oh, it did. It made a crack in there. So I think if you kept going, it would start to loosen the spices. It's creating a lot of like mini vibrations. So that's one way to do it. Whew. Okay. As always, when using food, use all of your senses. If you have already decided you don't need to live your life by expiration and sell-by dates, look at it, see if there's stuff growing on it, see what color it is. If it looks too interesting, maybe not. Smell it. If it smells off, not just smells unnoticeable, but if it has an off smell to it, maybe not. You can always end up tasting a little bit. And then if it tastes bad, then don't use it, you know, so. Pretty good. I love the sesame seeds. I might add another kind of sesame seeds in here because I love how nutty it is becoming. And then I think I want to look for something else to put in here. More bran, straight bran. If you are interested in spices, you don't even have to be a Burlap and Barrel customer. You can just go to the Facebook forum, or the Spice Forum on Facebook and join it. Obviously, things will make a lot more sense to you if you are a customer, but there's some great cooking tips on there, and it's pretty much just great advice to have if you love to cook. And we're almost up on the hour, so I think we did what we came to, well, I did what I came to do. I don't know if you did what you came to do, but I think this will become more cohesive over time. And there's something that's really smelly in my fridge, and I'm not sure what it is, and it's kind of bothering me. I'm gonna have to go figure that out soon. What is something rotting in there? What's going on, y'all? What is going on in here? I'll have to figure it out later. Thank you, Sandra. Bye. Wait, there are some very fun comments going on. A locust in a can? Oh my god. Can you make sriracha? I wouldn't. Making hot sauce at home is like a death sentence. You have to breathe in and smell and experience all the fumes blowing up into the air around you. It's just really not worth it. Hello, Mexico. Silicone packets and vitamins, brilliant. Some of my vitamins don't come with silicone packets. They just have that like weird cotton ball in there. So yes, you can use the freezer to preserve things from going rancid, but I actually don't know what freezing does to the flavor of things. I used to think that because coffee beans have a lot of fat in them that you should place them in the freezer, but then some people who drink coffee way more than I do told me that that's not a good thing to do to coffee beans because it sucks out their flavor. So I think the jury's out. I think it's up for debate how good or not good that practice is for preserving flavor, but definitely for preserving rancidity, or preventing rancidity rather. You are restarting your PhD. Good luck. I am not baking this. I'm just gonna eat it. It's actually pretty good. So the last thing I'm gonna do to this is I'm gonna put a third cocoa in because I am crazy like that. And we're going to add in this Trader Joe's cocoa. Because I think more cocoa powder provides a more diverse flavor, like a deeper cocoa flavor, even though the Trader Joe's one is like definitely nowhere near as fancy as the other two cocos that we've used. I still think cheap stuff has its place. And I think this will get us to the final texture that I'm seeking, which is a lot chewier and denser than what we currently have. And then I'll see if I need some sugar and I'll add it in. But for now, the chocolate pudding and the other natural flavors that we have in here are doing the trick. I unfortunately don't have coffee. I think I might still have that instant coffee pack that Aaron brought back, but I'll save that for another batch. Hey, you know, if Grandma keeps giving me her leftovers, I might have to make more batches of these brownies and just hope that I don't shit my pants one day. But yeah, this is getting closer to the texture that I want. It's getting a little bit harder to mix with our spatula, and it's starting to clump into itself rather than remaining a shapeless sludge. Okay, final taste. Here's what It does look like shit though, you know, Grandma's not gonna eat this. Mmm. I like the addition of the last cocoa. Yeah, that was good. But now you know I want to add something more. Do you remember there was that pandan powder? Oh yeah, here it is. Pandan powder. If you watch the, what was it? Maybe it was a depression week. I had the pandan powder. Oh, that smells so good. It smells like rice and vanilla had a baby. And actually, now that you mention anise seeds, I'm going to add some of that in too. I really love the taste of anise now. If I can find it. Whoops. I think I lost it in my various spice. Dang, I'm gonna have to look for that later. Next round, we'll put in the anise. Oh, never mind, found it. Woo! Okay, sorry, just talking to myself. Anise seeds. I have way too many spices in this thing. So yeah, I hope everyone has a soothing week. And if you have to self-soothe, that's totally fine too. That's part of what being an adult is. We no longer have other people telling us to do this and do that, so we have to self-regulate and self-soothe. And that's something that I'm still learning how to do for sure. But if you have a panic attack, like I did yesterday, or an anxiety thing like Grandma did this morning, I hope you'll find some time to just remind yourself that it's okay to feel overwhelmed, that as long as we're alive, we can keep it in mind that this is all temporary, and that we can shift our attention to other things momentarily, if not forever, to just give ourselves a little breathing break, and to call ourselves back to the present, where the anxieties don't really attack us. Anxieties are worries of the past, or an imagined past, resurfacing in the future, and we don't have to live past or future timelines. We only exist in the present one. And the present one is fundamentally breathing. And if you can breathe, you can exist. And if you can exist now, exist now. Maybe you can't go back to teaching, but you'll have to find something else to do. But for now, maybe you need to focus on your recovery. Because if you don't recover and take time for yourself, then you might die, like my mom did, from stress and ignoring herself. So that's what I mean when I say it's not a waste of time to just sit in the present. It's actually the only time that you actually have. All the rest is imaginary. Our world is unfortunately built on imaginary things, and so we're made to believe that imaginary things are real, but they are actually not real because our world is filled with illusions, and we keep spinning and manufacturing more illusions so that we can sell stuff. But selling stuff doesn't prevent us from dying. It just kills the earth a little bit faster, as we can see. My work here is done. Thank you for joining me. I'll try not to eat this whole bowl because I will not have a happy time in the bathroom. But otherwise, eat your vitamins, drink your water, take your naps, and breathe. And I have to go now. So, on to the next thing. Bye, y'all.